pregnant women are at higher risk of having severe COVID-19. So what we mean by that is a woman who is pregnant, a person who is pregnant compared to someone who isn't, has a higher risk of needing to go into the hospital to be admitted because of breathing problems from the infection, higher risk of needing to go to the ICU because they have critical illness caused by the virus, higher risk of needing to be on a ventilator, and a higher risk of death. We have fairly good data that placental transmission of COVID to the baby while the baby's still inside, so as a fetus, that seems to be rare if it happens at all. But we do know that when a mom becomes really sick, especially if she's critically ill and in the ICU, that puts the pregnancy and the baby at risk. We know that these babies are going to be at higher risk for things like growth restriction, a preterm delivery, because either mom is so ill that she needs to be delivered early so that she can receive more adequate and thorough, management of her disease. These babies are at higher risk of needing to go to the NICU and higher risk of all of the sequelae of having a preterm delivery from a very critically ill mom. The vaccine itself has actually gone through all of the safety checks that a normal vaccine would go through. The reason that it was able to move so fast is because a lot of the work was already done prior to the coronavirus pandemic. There are other coronaviruses, MERS, SARS, in the past that came out, that this technology was already in the works and had a ton of the work already done, so that the scientists were essentially able to hit the ground running. And then specifically to the COVID-19 virus, there's a lot of money and a lot of people and a lot of brain power that were thrown at the problem of developing this vaccine, and they really shortened the time intervals from one step to the next. The steps themselves were not skipped over or shortened in any way.
As far as concerns with the COVID-19 vaccine and future fertility, any claims linking the vaccine to decreased fertility in men or women are unfounded and have no scientific evidence backing them. In fact, the study that looked at the Pfizer vaccine, an equal number of women conceived after receiving the Pfizer vaccine as received the placebo vaccine. So we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that pan out in the data. Women who are considering pregnancy, trying to conceive, even undergoing fertility treatment, shouldn't hesitate to get vaccinated. That the vaccine should be offered to them just like it's offered to a non-pregnant or a person who's not undergoing those treatments. The VSafe registry that you register for or you can participate in when you're vaccinated has now followed over 120,000 pregnant women who have been vaccinated for COVID-19 with no adverse effects, no danger signals, no concerns for poor pregnancy outcomes after COVID vaccination. So I know it's a personal decision. I know that it is a difficult one to make. But when you look at the data, when you look at the science, we really at this point have good news. I think about breastfeeding even more so than getting vaccinated while pregnant, that you're forming a wall of protection around your baby, around your newborn, and they aren't going to be able to be vaccinated, certainly for a long time. And even less potential risk of vaccination on the baby, on the newborn. There's no evidence that the mRNA in the vaccine is transmitted in breast milk, so the baby isn't exposed to the actual components of the vaccine. In fact, the baby only potentially receives those protective antibodies that we've demonstrated in breast milk.
Especially looking at the Delta variant right now, I really feel like there's two ways out of this pandemic for each of us right now. It's to get COVID or to get the vaccine. We have seen what COVID does in pregnancy, and it's very scary. And because of the protection that you get from the vaccine, I am highly, highly encouraging all of my patients who are eligible to proceed with vaccination pre-pregnancy, during pregnancy, after pregnancy. We actually offer the vaccination inpatient on labor and delivery at this point because we think it's so important that we give our patients the access and the education that everyone deserves.